Obsolete and Emerging Technologies by LeAnn Morris. The obsolete technology I found at my school in the supply closet was a zip drive. Looking at the tetrad here, you can see that the zip drive has enhanced portable disk storage capability. It has made all floppy disks obsolete, not only the 3.5-inch floppy disk, but also the 5.25-inch and the 8-inch disks. It is going to be reversing into USB flash drive that I will be talking about in a few minutes, and also it has enhanced the need and retrieval of saving and creating backup files. The emerging technology that has replaced the zip drive, which is shown in this tetrad, is the USB flash drive. It enhances file management and provides a universal storage device. It not only has obsoleted all floppy disks, but the zip drive as well. It is going to be reversing into cloud computing storage, which is already starting to occur, and it retrieves the need for instant access to documents, files, and applications. The first interview I conducted about obsolete and emerging technologies is with Janice Arthur Towns, the Management Information Specialist here with the Carson City School District.
Okay, as LeAnn has just mentioned, my name is Janice Arthur Towns. I've been with the Carson City School District now for about 14 years, in the IT field for 20, 25 plus years, more than I care to speak about. I find the school district an interesting place because you have variables that don't always allow you to go with best practices as a rule that you would do in normal business. And when you go to find out your cost of a project, you have that variable of students involved, which you can't put a cost on.
For this project, we were to choose an obsolete technology that we had used at some time in the school district, or in particular at Empire Elementary School. And in our supply closet, I found the zip drive. And so the first question is, do you think the zip drive has become obsolete in the school district, and why?
Yes, the zip drive has become obsolete. One, because we have newer technologies that replace it. Also, because of the backups and the stuff that we used to perform on the zip drive, those are no longer required. And two, the reliability of the media.
Okay, great. What emerging technology do you think has replaced the zip drive in the district?
One of the main ones I can think of is optical storage. We now replace the zip drive or use what the zip drive was used for, which was a backup. We do optically now. Also, we have a USB, which makes it more convenient, more reliable, and a little bit more mobile.
Do you think the USB drive should be considered as an emerging technology, or do you think it's already emerged and we're on to something else now?
I think basically it's already emerged and we're on to something else now. We're on to more of your cloud computing type apps. Your Google Docs that can be shared anywhere online from any place without having to have a physical instrument to access those drives. I still think the USB or the flash is good for backup and retention for your own for your own retention method. But as far as sharing, I think the USB has seen its best days.
Okay, great. And you just alluded then for question 5, the newer technology, you just talked about that with the cloud computing. Is there anything else that you see that could be even a different emerging technology coming along that we might consider here in the school district?
Away from the storage type media as a device, I can see a lot of the iPads, iTouches, the Slate type mobile devices. I can see where they could play a big part in education.
Okay, great.
You know, I see great promise for them. I just think there's some management tools and some other things that need to be put in place first.
Is there anything else that you would like to share about anything that you can think about for emerging or future technologies, maybe not even in education, but just in general?
I just think we're in an interesting time right now because everything is coming out so fast and so furious, and everyone's competing against each other, and it's kind of like, what is the next best and greatest tool, and will it actually perform as advertised? So I think we're in a time where we're going to see a lot of changes, not only to technology, but the way people interact, do business, and deal with each other.
The second interview I conducted with an end user of obsolete and emerging technologies is Gail McGee, who is a first grade teacher at Empire Elementary School, where I teach.
I'm Gail McGee, and I've been teaching here for 9 years. I teach first grade. Sometimes I teach first and loop to second, which means I get to keep them for 2 years. I've been immersed in the technology committee since the beginning. So every technology that has come in, I've embraced it. I was one of the first classrooms to have the smart board, the surround sound, with your DVD player and your VCR hooked into it, so that people would come in my room and like, wow, what's going on in here? And we have the document camera, which was part of getting one in every classroom. I've been smartboard certified, so I teach smartboard to the rest of the district. I've received a couple of personal grants for the digital cameras that my kids use in my classroom, and I was also in 2008 the Milken Family Foundation National Teacher recipient.
Gail, the first question. In the closet here at school for my obsolete technology, I found an old zip drive. Do you think the zip drive has become obsolete in the classrooms at Empire Elementary School, and why?
Well, when you asked me that question, I first had to ask for clarification. What is a zip drive? And then you explained what it was, because I thought it was just like an external hard drive, but apparently not. So in the 9 years that I've worked here, I have never used one. I've never been trained in one. I've heard of it, but it was just a misconception. I didn't even know what it was. So it's obsolete. Don't use them. Probably never will.
All right. Thank you. What emerging technology do you think has replaced the zip drive here at Empire, and why?
The flash drive, or the thumb drive, as some of us call it, because it's small, portable, and it holds so much information. You can get them as big as you want, and they're inexpensive. You can carry them on your keychain. You can transfer your information from one computer to another one without dealing with emailing it to yourself, which doesn't. It's just simple to use and small, and very convenient.
Okay, great. Would you consider the USB flash drive, thumb drive, whatever we want to call it, would you consider that an emerging technology, or do you think it's already emerged and we're moving on to something else here at Empire?
I don't think it's an emerging flash drive. When your 6-year-old first graders ask you, do you have any extra flash drives? It's been around for a while, so it's not emerging. I don't know what the next step would be. I don't know. I don't know what it would be. Here at Empire, we use flash drives, the kids use flash drives, and until the next step comes, we'll be ready for it, but I don't know what it is.
Is there any newer technology that you see replacing this USB? You kind of already alluded to that, that you didn't think that you weren't sure if what would be coming up next, but just another opportunity if there's anything that you can think of that would be replacing the USB keys here at school.
As far as I'm concerned, I try to stay with what I know. I don't reach out for new things too often, but so I don't know what's coming next, especially in the school district.
Okay, great. And just in general, is there any other emerging technologies that you think we should be considering here at Empire for the future?
I think the latest technology that I'm into is the iPod Touch, and which eventually could lead into the iPad Touch. But because I already have a set for my classroom, we have 15, and we've used it to record the kids reading and then they get to listen back and check their own fluency and check their words they know, and reading sight words they can tell if they know them. They can listen to other kids doing it too. The iPad, the only thing is, I thought we could share them. They're a little small, so I'm thinking the next step for my classroom could be the iPads, just because they're bigger, but I don't have one yet, so.
In addition to McLuhan's tetrads that have already been discussed, there are 6 prominent forces that drive emerging technologies. Evolutionary technologies based on Gordon Moore's law, rhymes of history, disruptive technologies, science fiction, increasing returns, and red queens. The force evolutionary technologies was helpful to explain why the zip drive originally emerged to replace all floppy disks, primarily the 3.5-inch floppy disk. Continuing with the force evolutionary technologies, there are reasons why the zip drive has become obsolete due to the key principles of evolutionary technologies. A new technology emerges as a progression or growth of a previous technology, and also the progression occurs through a predictable, nonlinear process where it becomes exponentially more powerful over time, as predicted by Gordon Moore. In conclusion with the force evolutionary technologies, the USB flash drive is the emerging technology that has evolved from the need to have greater disk storage capacity and greater reliability than the zip drive was able to allow. The second force, rhymes of history, has had an impact on the original emergence of the obsolete zip drive technology. It has been able to rekindle the possibility of saving customs, cultures, and traditions for future generations in a portable manner. The force, rhymes of history has had an impact on why the zip drive became obsolete, because of the need for more storage capacity to hold and store historical records. In conclusion, the force, rhymes of history, the USB flash drive has emerged to replace the zip drive because of the increased need for humankind to communicate with one another globally. Moving on to the force disruptive technology, the zip drive emerged with the same functionality as floppy drives with 2 differences. They function more efficiently and they allow greater storage capacity. They also could be considered a wild card to the floppy disks. Continuing with the force disruptive technology, the zip drive became obsolete because the drive could only read proprietary disks. In conclusion with the force disruptive technology, the USB flash drive emerged due to the many unique characteristics as described on this slide. Out of the 6 forces, science fiction was the one force that was not useful in explaining why the zip drive originally emerged. Continuing with the force science fiction, the zip drive became obsolete because it did not become an industry standard for all computer manufacturers. And in conclusion, the USB flash drive emerging technology also did not emerge from science fiction because of the existing technologies already available. With the force increasing returns, this is what the iOmega engineers were hoping for when they released the zip drive. Continuing with the force increasing returns, this concept comes from the branch of mathematics called the chaos and complexity theory. In conclusion with the force increasing returns, the USB flash drive emerged due to technical difficulties from other technology. With the last force, red queens, the zip drive's original emergence would not be considered a red queen. On the other hand, using the force red queens, the zip drive became obsolete because the USB flash drive that replaced it could be considered a red queen. In conclusion with the force red queens, the USB flash drive can be considered a red queens emerging technology, even though it currently does not have any direct competition as a local storage device. My speculation on the future of the emerging technology, the USB flash drive, is that it will be around for quite a long time. They are beginning to develop many new things that the USB flash drive can also do, but many people still like to have their information and data in hand. To conclude my presentation, the replacement of the USB flash drive is already occurring with the use of cloud computing. We will all be in the clouds soon.